Hey everybody, welcome back to the podcast. Our new narrative with the broke capitalist. And I want to remind everybody out there to celebrate diversity carefully. Uh, that's the big topic of the decade, I guess, diversity. And I want to talk a little bit about that um, and how diversity is being used to fool you, um, especially people who look like me. So I'm going to go on in and just talk about this article I came across. So Megyn Kelly slams Miss Harris for saying she's proud of Jacob Blake. And okay, stop right there. Why is she proud of Jacob Blake? So typically when you're proud of someone, it's because of something they've achieved or done, right? But identity politics require you to be proud of someone based on their identity and not proud of someone else based on their identity. So in this case, Jacob Blake is a black guy. And apparently Kamala Harris is proud of him for either being black or being shot by the cops. I mean, right? And why was he shot by the cops? Let's see. Well, in the tweet she put out, proud of him. He's accused of breaking into a sleeping woman's house, sexually assaulting her, humiliating her, and later returning to harass her. Is she proud of him for that? Then the cops she called for help say he resisted arrest. So she's proud of him for that. Assaulted them. She's proud of him for that. And went for his knife. Is that what she's proud of? Or is she proud of him for just being black? He had nothing to do with just being black, right? His parents had everything to do with just being black, right? So either or, you're proud of him for stuff he accomplished, and the only thing he accomplished was getting 7 bullets in the back because he assaulted somebody, another black person. So is Ms. Harris not proud of the victim here, who of no fault of her own was assaulted? Is she proud of the cops here who tried to get this man to do what he was ordered to do, right? By tasing him, by pulling on him, he assaults them. He goes to a car with tinted windows, reaches into a car. Okay, now what? I asked a good friend of mine, what do you expect the cop to do? Right? He's obviously reaching into the car to pull out a birthday cake or to smoke a joint with the cops or maybe to pull out a weapon. But if you're a cop and you've asked this guy repeatedly, come here, come with us, he refuses, he assaults you, you tase him, he keeps going for a car. Like, what do you expect the cops to do? Don't answer that. But what does your politician expect the cop to do? Okay, so this leads me into, you got to be careful what you ask for. And a lot of people who look like me are asking for people like Kamala Harris to represent them as a politician. And these people are wolves in sheep's clothing. Dare I say, lions in wolves' clothing, right? They are socialists. They're part of the Democratic Party who's always been socialist. They were, in the greatest secret that I've come across recently is how the Democrats, all you guys know, they were pro-slavery, but they were also socialists during the time they were pro-slavery. And I think we need to talk about that. So I will. So back in the 1850s, 60s, right, before the Civil War, there was the big issue of slavery. And on the pro-slavery side, you had several fractions. You had the Southern Democrats, the Northern Democrats. But in these circles ran socialists. And slavery people were pro-socialist. the Northerners were pro-capitalist and freedom. So I think we need to boil down what the differences are. So socialism has been deemed slavery without the whip, or the science. Socialism is the science of slavery. What do you mean by that? So, and I'm gonna keep saying this, so if you heard it before, I'm sorry. But under slavery, no matter what your race was, if you were in America or if you were in Athens or if you were in Africa or wherever, right? The duty of the slave owner, and which is connected to, shall we dare say, a right of the slave. The duty of the slave owner is to house, feed, clothe, and take care of the slave, cradle to the grave, right? So if you're productive at 35 years old and you're carrying wood or picking tobacco or picking cotton, cultivating tobacco or picking cotton, slave owner has to take care of you, take care of your family. If you get sick, slave owner has to take care of you, right? You're 70 years old. You can no longer go out in the fields and work. Your slave owner has to feed you, take care of you. If you get sick, you have to do that. They have to they have to call a doctor. They have to put a house over your head, shelter, all that. They're responsible for all that. Well, what if you're a slave and you're not working? Say, you planted the crops. You're just waiting, sitting back, waiting on harvest time. Well, the slave owner has to take care of you, clothe you, feed you, shelter you, and take care of you when you're sick. What's the difference between that and socialism? There's no whip involved. So the end game of socialism is basically slavery without the whip. The government is there to take care of you when you're sick, when you're healthy. They're gonna make sure you got all the clothes you need, the shelter you need. Remember the projects? I grew up in them, right? That's the end game for socialism. Now, if you want that, okay, now that you know what it is, maybe you do. Maybe you don't have any skills. Maybe the skills you do have don't earn you enough money. But you got 2 or 3 kids you need to take care of. It sure would be nice if somebody else took care of them and you, right? Maybe that's appealing to you. But maybe it's not, right? Maybe you want some of that freedom, that liberty that the capitalists are always talking about. Well, before you jump on that train, guess what? There's nobody there to take care of you, right? If you're not productive, you are free to starve in the streets, right? There's nobody there to provide you with a house, to provide your family with clothes and with food, right? But why should there be? America was the first country on the planet to believe that the individual was strong enough, along with his family as a support unit, to take care of himself and his family. And that worked out very well. 1776 through the Civil War up until the 1920s. And post-Civil War to the Great Depression, basically, America created the greatest economy the world's ever seen, despite what Trump is saying every day, right? A real economy, not the greatest, stock market ever seen, but a real economy. So the choice is yours. The choice is still yours. Do you want, the end game of socialism is you're taken care of by the government. The end game of capitalism is you take care of yourself and the ones you love, right? Now, in a situation where someone's taking care of you, we in a democracy get to elect that someone. And that someone wants to be, this time is named Biden and Kamala Harris. Before that, it was Obama. So, and before that, it was, whatever Democrat took office, because at the core of that democratic philosophy is socialism. And the end of socialism is slavery. Just don't have the whip no more. Now, here's the trick, because Mark Twain said it's easier to fool someone than to convince them that they've been fooled, right? So the left is using people who look like me, issues like Black Lives Matter, to usher in a lot of these socialist Marxist policies. Black Lives Matter being one organization which is doing that, and stop donating money to these people because they're socialist Marxists. Now, if you're a socialist Marxist, and you know what you're doing, yeah, go ahead, donate to them. I wish you nothing but the worst. But if this is news to you, stop donating to these people and wake up and pay attention, folks. Because if you are a wonderful, kind-hearted liberal and you just want everybody to join hands and sing Kumbaya, and we got to get rid of racism, it's the #1 problem in America. Oh my God, these black people, how are they ever going to succeed with racism in their way? Look, racism is not the biggest problem in Black America. As you may have heard, the lack of the family unit is the biggest problem in Black America, and all these socialist policies issued in since the 60s, AKA the welfare state, is the biggest problem in Black America. You know, at the height of the Jim Crow era, when people were getting hung by trees every day, not every day, but a lot, their numbers of Black people being hung by racist individuals pales in comparison to Black people killing Black people just in Chicago. So let's get this straight. Wake up, all right? And we're gonna go to something that's being swept into, that may get swept into law while you're not even looking. And this is California's Proposition 16, which will repeal Proposition 209, affirmative action. You read it for yourself, but I'll help you along. Allow diversity, remember diversity, celebrate diversity. Allow diversity as a factor in public employment, education, and contracting decisions. Legislative constitutional amendment permits government decision-making policies to consider race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin to address diversity by repealing Article 1, Section 31 of the California Constitution, which was added by Proposition 209 in 96. 209 generally prohibits state and local governments from discriminating against or granting preferential treatment to individuals or groups on the basis of race, sex, color, ethnicity, or national origin in the operation of public employment, education, or contracting. This does not alter other state and federal laws. So basically, we can wake up here in California, go to a job interview, and sit at a desk, and behind the desk, there is a Black man with a sign behind him that says whites need not apply. Is this what you want? Because this is what these socialist Marxists are trying to usher in my name. Black folks don't want this. Black people should be the last people marching for socialism. It's slavery without the whip. Okay, Booker T. Washington is somewhere rolling over in his grave, right? He damn sure ain't marching nowhere and throwing peaceful bricks at people and rioting. Come on, wake up, folks. And with that, I'm gonna let you go, but as always, please like, share, and subscribe. If you were here long enough to hear me rant for the past 10 minutes or so, please like, share, and subscribe. Get this out, get the word out. Come here for the truth as I know it, and I'll give you the sources so you can go confirm, fact check all you want. And with that said, check out the description. I'll leave a couple of links there. And with that, God bless. Have a great day. Look forward to seeing you again.